Shalom, Barakafah, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and salutations to all of the sincere ICANN worldwide. The purpose of this sit down is simply to reinforce that the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, who the Christians and the rest of the world ignorantly refer to as God and Jesus Christ, is only dealing with Israel and Israel alone. See, the common misconception amongst the general public, particularly these Christians, man, and the spirits on these Christians, man, to reveal them for the wicked bastards that they are. But the majority of these Christians seem to believe that the God of the universe changed his mind on hating the other nations, and after the Old Testament, they believe that he sent his son, who they refer to as Jesus Christ, true name Yahweh Shai, to die for these nations. But that's totally contradictory to what the scriptures teach. You see, the scriptures teach from Old Testament to New that Yahweh Shai, God and Jesus Christ, in layman's terms, is only dealing with the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone. So throughout this sit down, my aim is literally just to reinforce that point. I'm going to be bringing out a few scriptures, Old Testament and New, and I'm just going to emphasize the fact that Yahweh Shai is only dealing with the nation of Israel, man. So without further ado, I'm going to start in Deuteronomy 32 and verse 9. Let me just load this up. Give me a second, Akim. The purpose of this video is to just reinforce the fact that Yahweh Shai is just dealing with Israel and Israel alone for new brothers, man. Because a lot of brothers are waking up to the truth, man. And you know, you got to build up that foundation, and scriptures like these are going to help you out. I'm going to start with Deuteronomy 32 verse 9. And it says, in fact, let me start from verse 8. It says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. So basically, there's 18 biblical nations on the planet Earth today. And when the God of the universe, Yahweh Shai, and his son separated the nations, yeah, when they gave them all their allotments, it says, when he separated the sons of Adam. So as you know, we all come from Adam, but there's a distinction made between nations. It says he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So what does that basically tell you, man? Every other nation got their allotment really after Israel first and foremost, but in accordance to what Israel had. So the Most High gave Israel a specific amount, and then every other nation, according to their allotment, got slightly, well, considerably less a portion, lesser of a portion than what we got. Israel is the Most High's the Most High's treasured possession, man. So we got the greatest portion, and compared it into what we got, the Yahweh Shai then measured how little he was going to give the other nations. And why is that? Verse 9, it goes into it. It says, for the Lord's portion, Yahweh Shai's portion, is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, meaning that really and truly we belong to the Lord, man. We're the Most High's prized treasure, you know, on the level of when you got like a nice, I don't know, I don't want to make it all carnal, but you might have like a nice pair of trainers, a nice car, whatever, and you treasure that nice pair of trainers. Maybe, you know, on a lesser, on a lower vibration, you might have a nice pair of trainers compared to, you know, all your other kicks, and you wear them on special occasions, keep them clean. Hey, man, Yahweh Shai looks at us as his prized possession, you know, and none of these nations come in comparison to it. He'll scoff and throw away all these other nations before he gets rid of Israel, man. And that's the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, man. He made 18 nations and chose one. That shows you that the Most High is to be feared, man. Anyway, I'm going to continue on, just emphasizing the facts throughout the scriptures, man. Just emphasizing that it's all about Israel, Israel, Israel. And it's important for brothers to meditate and dwell on that, because when I came in the truth, man, and I was watching the elders and the apostles, you know, in the main camp, and, you know, other camps out there as well, the emphasis was always about Israel, man. And that helped to iron out any doubts that I had. You see, the scripture is about Israel and Israel alone. This is the book of Israelite history and Israelite prophecy, really and truly. And the only way you're going to actually be saved, in short, is if you descend from the man known as Israel in the Bible, not the woman, but the man. I mean, not his wives, or what's the word? Well, obviously, if you descend from his wives, you descend from him, because they never slept with no other men. But the lineage, without further ado, comes from the man. So this is Jeremiah 10 verse 16, and it reads, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. When it says the portion of Jacob is not like them, it means our allotment, our promise is not like the other nations. We have a better promise. an actual everlasting kingdom to come. So it says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh is his name. So there again, it tells you straight into the point, man, that the former of all things, man, has Israel as the rod of his inheritance. So if we are to be the Most High's inheritance, guess what, man? Not only is he going to expect great things from us and, you know, expect us to be on a level above these heathen, but he's also going to expect us to literally, you know, ultimately become a beautiful spectacle onto the world, man. And that's what he's going to make us when he puts the Spirit within us, which I'm going to get in a little bit. But I want to quickly grab a few more scriptures, man. I'm just skipping around in the scriptures, just showing you every scripture that you go to, more or less, in the scriptures, man, emphasizes the importance of Israel. Without Israel, there will be no need for a planet Earth. We might grab that later. Psalms 102 verse 13. It says, "Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion." What is Zion? The word Zion means monument, yeah? And the monument of the Lord is Israel, Yasha Allah. He, the Prince of the power, man. That's our nation, man. And it says the Most High is going to arise and have mercy upon his monument. He's going to have mercy upon Zion. You see, back in, up in Hosea 4 and 6, continuing on, the Most High said we'd be destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. And he rejected us. And during the time of Hosea, the Most High called us Lo Ami, meaning no people, because of the fact that he basically made us temporarily bastards and cast us out. But not for the long term, because Israel ultimately, our destiny is to be saved, man. And Yahweh is not going to forsake the promises he made to our forefathers. Anyway, it says, for the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come. It says to favor. What does it mean when you favor something? It means it's your favorite. That's where you get the word favorite from. The Most High practices favoritism. He's got a favorite food, favorite river, favorite flower, favorite bird. Of course, the Most High's got a favorite people. It's just common mathematics, man. Man. So shall the heathen fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh, because that name is going to be reinstated on the planet Earth through the magnificence of his people Israel, and all the kings of the earth thy glory. When the Lord Yahweh shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory. You see, so the Most High God, yeah, and his Son, who the world referred to as Jesus Christ, are going to be the ones to build up Israel again. They're going to build up Israel according to their word and in their time, man. You know. So although we were scattered, Yahweh is going to reinstate us to our righteousness. This is Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 8. Let's start from 17. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Therefore their doings. Their way was before me as an uncleanness of a removed woman. You know, like a woman on a period, basically, when you're not supposed to be around that woman for about 7 days, man. Hey, the Most High likened our behavior onto that. It says, wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed throughout the countries, according to their ways and according to their doings. I judged them. And naturally, if you're a spiritual man and you can see it, you'll understand that concept of Israelite foreigners, because you might have a Jake living up in Gookland, a Jake living among Ishmael, a Jake living among Esau's territory. And he might, you know, two, three generations in, have offspring that literally look like the heathen. But guess what? The spirit within them is the spirit of an Israelite man. This is all about genealogy. It's not about skin color, because skin color really is not the main contributing factor. Yes, obviously it serves as a you know, what's the word? It serves as a first point of contact, you know, a reference point for you to identify for the most part who the devil is. But through the mixing of nations nowadays, you don't know exactly who's who. You've got so-called dark-skinned Edomites, you know, and that's the reality of it. So it says, and when they entered unto the heathen whither they went, they profaned my holy name, when they said to them, these are the people of Yahweh and are gone forth out of his land. So when our people went off into these other lands, after we've been cast out of our own land for our wickedness, our people got even more wicked, to the point where you got what we got today now, where people don't even know who they are. Our people are totally lost. But guess what? Yahweh said in verse 23 on down, he says, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen. Because right now the name of the Lord is not respected, man. People don't even know the name of the Lord. People prioritize their own name before the name of the Lord, man. Hey, man, but guess what? He said he will sanctify his great name. It says, continuing on, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So the Most High is going to be sanctified in Israel, man, before the sight of these heathen. Imagine that. Hey, man, the Most High is going to literally beautify Israel, man. It says, for I will take you from among the heathen. So the Most High himself, not no bathroom decoration, not no Boeing 747s. The Most High said he's going to take us from among the heathen himself and will gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Why did he say he's going to gather us out of all countries? Because Israel was scattered amongst all of these other nations. You see, that's the mistake that you people make, because you read about Paul, and you read about Paul going to Galatia, Thessalonica, to the Ephesians, the Romans, and you think that he was actually going to Edomites in these lands. Paul was going to Israelites scattered amongst all of these other nations, man. We can get it for you. It says, anyway, then I will sprinkle water upon you, and you shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. And you can go on and on. It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, your forefathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your power. So ultimately, the scriptures is about, it's a story, man, about Israel, about how we were once decadent and great. We went into slavery because of the fact we continuously broke Yahweh's law. But ultimately, the Lord had mercy on us and saved us, and we're going to have an everlasting kingdom. The script's already been written, and you can't alter it, man. You already know Revelations 22:11 says, he that addeth unto the word of the Lord shall be destroyed. You know, no matter what you people try to come with, the Most High is only going to redeem and deal with Israel, man. It's Israel, Israel, Israel all throughout. Even here, you got the book of James, yeah? It says James 1:1. James, a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and of James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahushai Mashiach, yeah? To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. He said to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, greeting. Why is that? Because he was writing letters to the 12 tribes, yeah? And them only. He called them my brethren, yeah? My brethren. What does that mean, man? He was calling them his brethren, his kinsmen, because of the fact that they were also Israelites. That's why when you read Revelations 7 from verse 5 all the way down, yeah, to 8, so like it tells you, man, you know, of the 12,000 of the 12,000, so like you're sealed from all of the 12 tribes, yeah. And guess what? They're all Israelite tribes. It tells you about Judah, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, and the rest. You know, it's all about Israel, man. All about Israel. Always has been. Let's continue on. I'm just going to hammer home the facts, because you got a lot of Christians trying to come up against the truth nowadays, trying to come like they got the doctrine. But guess what, man? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gave the doctrine to the apostles of GMS in purity and in truth, and they're doing nothing else but teaching that in righteousness, man. And that's why we adhere to the doctrine that the apostles teach, because really and truly, man, in the spirit, man, anyone with a spiritual eye can see that those men are the men of the Lord, man, and they're not guiding men wrong. Romans 9:1. I say the truth in Mashiach, I lie not. My conscience also beareth me witness in the Holy Spirit that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. Yeah, this is Paul saying, you know, he's telling the truth in the name of the Lord. You know, he has a lot of sorrow in his heart. Let's see why. For I wish that I myself were accursed from Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. So basically, Paul was saying, I wish that I alone could bear these curses, so that my kinsmen, my brothers, you know, my next of kin, my fellow Israelites could be saved. It says, who are Israelites? So it says, my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. He calls them his kinsmen, his brothers according to the flesh, and then he makes the distinction, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth meaning who pertains to who it is owed, yeah, the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and of the promises, the promises. Whose are the fathers? When he said whose are the fathers, what did he mean by that? He meant that the fathers, the ancient men of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on down, man, were the forefathers of these people, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahweh Shai Mashiach came, and who is over all, Yahweh be blessed forever, amen. He made it clear and to the point. If you read that and see it as it is, and understand with a spiritual eye, Paul was saying there that he wished he himself could be cursed for Israel's sake, so that they could make it into the kingdom, because, hey, man, Israel was catching a lot of hell under the Romans. The Romans were besieging the gates every other day. And really, he was like, yo, man, I wish I could catch all of this hell for Israel just so that my people could live blissfully in the kingdom. My kinsmen, man. But guess what, man? It wasn't time for that. Paul had to go through all of the different regions he went to, preaching to the Israelite foreigners. Now, the Israelite foreigners were not heathens or heathens that heard the word and tried to convert, because you had accounts of the Falasha Jews, man, that were in the land of Israel when the 10 tribes got taken into Assyria, and they were doing all kind of wickedness, and the Most High sent lions to kill them, man, until they had to get a Levite priest in to show them how to adhere to the land. And even now you got Ethiopians up in the land of Israel, descendants of those people, man, those Cushites that went up in our land trying to imitate us. You had the Samaritan woman that went to Yahweh Shai, that, you know, her and her fathers had worshipped at the mountain for years. In fact, let me grab that. Yahweh Shai himself cursed out the heathen woman. Let's see, it says, John 4, I'm going to start from, let's start from verse 19. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet, which means to say before. And he said, she said, our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem, yeah, is the place where men ought to worship. Jerusalem, yeah. Yahweh Shai said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor ye yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. He says, you worship, you know not what. So she was a heathen woman trying to claim the scriptures. And he said straight out, you worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Yahweh Shai cut her down, man. And he straight up said salvation is of the Jews. Back then you had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the time of the Romans, but they had all been clustered together and referred to as the Jews, which is why now you even have that modern term where you got those Jews up in Stamford Hill, Golders Green, etc., fake Jews, and everyone refers to them as the Jews. But to be a Jew means you come from the tribe of Judah. So my question to that is, where is, you know, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon on down? Yahweh Shai is not going to just say one tribe and forget the rest, man. Come on, you know. I mean, I've been bringing out a lot of scriptures. I'm just going to finish up with this, because what it is Israel is the only reason this earth is in existence. Without Israel, there will be no need for a planet Earth, man. The Most High made this planet for Israel's sake, and we're going to rule this place, man, regardless of what the heathens think. You got all the gooks up there thinking they got next. You got Esau thinking his kingdom's going to last. Elam trying to climb up there. But let's see what 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, says. It says in verse 54, and after these things, Adam also, whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. As just said it plain, man, everyone comes from Adam, but also the people that the Lord Yahweh has chosen. Verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. See, this is why Edomites don't like the Apocrypha, man. Edomites and the No, I should say, even though the Apocrypha is a part of the scriptures, because that's the origin of Hanukkah from the time of Judas Maccabees. But anyway, yeah, he says, because thou madest the world for our sakes. He goes on to say, as for the other people, so the other 17 nations, and Esau at the bottom of the totem pole, of course, as for the other people who also come of Adam, the other nations, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Meaning, if you got a bucket of water and you pour out a little bit of it, you don't really give a fuck about it, man, because at the end of the day, you still got a massive, you still got your massive, your massive bucket full of goods, man, ready to use. So Yahweh Shai said, fuck it, man. Fuck these heathens. they're irrelevant. He doesn't care if about a thousand Ishmaelites die, and that's the reality of it. He doesn't care. He damn well, he wants Edomites to be put to death, but he doesn't care if Moabites get it, Ammonites, etc. As long as Israel's maintained in the right stead, man. And now a lot of you people will say, well, why would he do that? You got to read that Sirach 33, man. It tells you, man, the Most High created good and evil. He's the ultimate balance. Romans 9:13 says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. The Most High loves Jacob and continuously has a perpetual hatred against Esau and his descendants. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? So you're going to say, well, because the Most High made Israel and loved them and created a nation to be destroyed, he's unrighteous. Nah, man. Everyone's got their lot. That's that Proverbs 16:4. The Most High has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Anyway, it says, is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said unto Moses, I will have mercy upon whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion upon whom I will have compassion. See, we're the Most High's creation. And what right does the Most High, what right do we have to turn around to the Most High and tell him what he's going to do? The Most High does what he wants when he wants, man. And we just got to be thankful and fearful that for the fact that we were created Israelites, and just hope that we maintain, man. Because verse 16 says, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua that showeth mercy. So all of these Christians out here talking about they saved themselves and they're saved and they chose God. And hey, man, John 15:16 tells you, man, you have not chosen me, I have chosen you. The Most High makes the choices, man. And he doesn't choose your stereotypical so-called upright man according to this society standards. The Most High will pick who the world looks at as a fool, just as a stumbling block to people. And that's what we are, man. A lot of brothers out here are raw as fuck, but guess what, man? We're men of the Lord. We don't come in that spirit of, stab you in the back and take 30% of your money and claim that it's for a good cause and tithes and then be bathing in riches. Hey, man, we just tell you as it is, man. Freely you have received, freely give. Israel and Israel alone is going to be saved, man. None of these other nations. I'm going to finish it off with Isaiah 45. 1 second, I can. Isaiah chapter 45, and let's go straight down to verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, with an everlasting salvation. It says, everlasting salvation, never ending. You shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end. You look up that word, it's there, meaning eon, an age, man. Israel is going to have a kingdom that lasts forever, all through the spirit and power of the supreme being, man. Meaning that there is nothing that you can do against it. Because if Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua before us, then who can be against us? And the answer to that is totally no one. Qam Yasha Allah, Qam Yasha Allah, Qam Yasha Allah. That means rise Israel. Yeah, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Baraka Fam. Shalom.